Shalawam, shalawam, Israel. This is Brother Yowana coming at y'all with, Lord willing, another edifying lesson in spirit, power, Yahweh Shemiel Shai. Before I start this lesson, I want to say, Kal Halayim, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kwakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and all the Akim who teach this truth diligently in righteousness and sincerity. Peace and salutations and many blessings to the elect of Israel and the four winds of the earth. May the election of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai be upon your households and your families. You know, this lesson's pretty much going to be who is Esau and what is his fate. You know, because there's a lot of things in the Bible that people really can't understand, and having the understanding of who Esau is something that's going to help you better understand certain sections of the book. You know, and this is Job 9:24 says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You know, so right here it's telling you that pretty much the people who rule this world are the wicked. You know, he covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? You know, so it right here is telling us that the wicked are in control of this earth. And a lot of you can probably ask yourself, well, who controls the earth? Who controls the central banks? Who controls the food distribution? Who controls the media? You know, and the social media platforms and all this different stuff, man. It's the self-proclaimed white man. You know, and a lot of you might be shocked at that simple fact, but that's just the truth. And the Bible talks about it, man. So let's get Isaiah, the 14th chapter, and verse 12. Isaiah 14 and verse 12. It says, How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation? So remember that Lucifer, or the devil, has weakened the nations. And a lot of people think that the devil is a red man with a tail and a pitchfork that sits in hell all day, you know, when we know that hell is going to be America, which is also referenced as Babylon the Great or Sodom in Egypt, which is going to be the lake of fire and brimstone in the aftermath of from the nuclear missiles and the chariots that are going to rain down on this place, man. You know, so that would be hell. Hell is a physical manifestation under the ground right now that's burning with fire. Hell is going to be cast into the lake of fire and brimstone in the second death, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Hell is going to be, or so-called hell is going to be America or Babylon the Great after the nuclear hellfire rains down, man. This place is going to be, you know, burning forever. It's going to be pretty much, it's going to be something that's going to be looked upon from the men, women, and children that are in the kingdom as something that fell. Because the Babylon in the ancient times was, you know, it fell. The Tower of Babel, it fell, man, and great was the fall of it. So that's pretty much how America's going to fall. It's going to be a great fall that's going to take place, and it's all prophecy, man. You know? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didn't weaken the nations? And remember that, man. Remember that, because this is Esau right here, man. Esau is referenced as the devil in the Bible, which devil just means deceiver. Because in the book of Revelation, it talks about how he deceived the whole world. You know, so he's constantly deceiving the whole world, especially with this mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, which is going to be, it's going to be presented as something that's going to make your life easier. It's going to make it easier, so you're not going to lose your keys. You won't lose your ID, your wallet, you know, your social security card. All this stuff's going to be compiled into one little microchip, man, and it's going to be under your hand, in your forearm, and in your forehead, man. So that's something that's getting pushed right now, and then Lord willing, I can make a video on that, you know. But yeah, the Esau is referenced as the devil in the Holy Scriptures, man. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, I will be like the Most High. You know, and Esau, man, and everybody that's in this world, like helping them, like these other nations, you know, because they can control the weather. That the HARP machine, which I don't know if y'all have ever heard of that, but HAARP machine, the HARP machine, it basically can make it snow, it can make it rain, it can control hurricanes and all this different stuff and tsunamis. So, you know what I'm saying? Esau has he has a lot of control over this earth, but it's only given unto him because of the short time that he's going to reign, and that's a lot of the great wrath that the Most High is going to put on Esau to come down on us, man, in these last days. You know what I'm saying? But who else tries to shoot above the clouds to get to so-called space, man, which is actually just the second heaven? He tries to get into the heavens, man, the heights of the clouds, Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. He's going to be brought down to hell, man. And hell is a condition. So he's going to be brought down to the lowest state, to the sides of the pit. And they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms? So everyone's going to be looking upon this one entity, and it's going to be a man. So now the book of Isaiah is telling us that the devil is a man. The devil is a physical man, and he has a spiritual counterpart, Satan, which all these evil spirits that go around and do things. But even in the book of Job, it tells us that the devil can't do anything, and any evil spirit can't do anything unless it gets permission from the Most High. So Esau has all of this rule in the world because the children of Israel transgressed the law of the Most High, which the children of Israel that make up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel are the so-called Negroes, so-called Native Americans, so-called Hispanics, Jamaicans, Puerto Ricans, Haitians, Cubans, and the list goes on, man. And those are God's true chosen people of the Holy Scriptures, all the way from the Old Testament to the New. The Most High is only dealing with the Israelites, and only a select few of the Israelites, the 1/3 and the 144,000 men, women, and children who are going to get delivered out of these troubles in these times, man. So all these people are going to be looking upon this one entity and saying, is this the man that did make the earth to tremble and that did shake the kingdom? So, everybody's going to realize that Esau has been slowly killing off the animals in the world. He's been polluting the air, polluting the food, polluting what we hear and see. And, it's just really, it's common sense too, because a lot of people know that the white man rules the world, and little does everybody know that the Bible actually talks about this man. You know what I'm saying? So let's get the book of Ezekiel, chapter 36 and 5. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 36, verse 5. It says, Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh. And Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father, which means He is and He exists. Yahweh. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen. You know what I'm saying? And that residue of the heathen, it's going to talk about it right here, is Idumea. You know what I'm saying? And the residue is the lowest of the low, the lowest of the heathen, man. And against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. And it says right here, which have appointed my land into their possession with joy of all their heart. And how did the Europeans take over this land, man? How did they take over this land? They raped, robbed, murdered, and enslaved everything that moved on this earth, including the children of Israel, which are, the so-called Native Americans, Negroes, and Hispanics, man, and all the different tribes. We were enslaved, man. You know what I'm saying? And they did it with joy in their heart. There's a thing, I don't know if y'all have time, but you can look it up. It's called buck breaking. And pretty much the slave master, he would take the male of majority of the time from a family, and would put all the family in front line and in front seat to see this man, the husband of the family, get raped, man, by the male slave owner. And that would be called buck breaking, man. And it would pretty much bring the slave male to the lowest esteem, to the lowest of self-confidence, and he would pretty much submit himself into his master. You know what I'm saying? You're just pretty much a walking zombie. You're just dead, man. You're so ashamed of, you know what I'm saying? And it's so sad to even talk about, y'all. And there's also a thing called the PEAR device, the PEAR. And it was a device used also in slavery, which the male slave owner or the female slave owner would take into. It's like a long knob about probably 2.5 feet across, and on one side is a knob that you turn left and right tighty, lefty loosey, and then the knob, as you turn it, to loosen it, it like kind of opens up like a mouth, and they would put this in the male slave's anus, and they would stretch it out. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with the woman in her private areas, and they would, you know what I'm saying? It's so sad, man. It is so sad what our people had to go through, but they transgressed the law of the Most High. You know, but then they got into the hands of the devil, and it was worse for them. You know what I'm saying? So we can't forget these things. This is something that's not taught in schools. And right here it's telling us that they did all of these things with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. You know what I'm saying? And just to get further into it, what Idumea means, if y'all ever want to look it up, it means Edom. You know, so let's go to Genesis. Idumea means Edom. 36 and Genesis 36 and verse 8. It said, "Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir." Esau is Edom. So Esau, which is the brother of Jacob from Isaac and Rebekah, he is the one that sold his birthright for red pottage. You know what I'm saying? So Esau, being that he sold his birthright, lost place of repentance. You know, though he carefully sought it out with tears. Hebrews 12 and 16. So Esau doesn't have no place of repentance, no place of forgiveness of sins. You know, he's pretty much just classified as the wicked. Or as we just read in the book of Ezekiel, the 36th chapter, verse 5, it says that Idumea is the residue of the heathen. You know? So Idumea, now that we know, it means Esau, Edom. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. And the Edomites, again, are Esau. Edom is the self-proclaimed white man. You know? So now we're going to get into what's going to be the fate of this man. You know, because it's not hid anymore. We know exactly what's going to happen to him according to Scripture. So let's get what's going to happen to Esau, Edom, or Idumea, as we just read. This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 1. Let me highlight those so I can make it easier for y'all to see. It says, "The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom," the self-proclaimed white people. "We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock." So you know what I'm saying? Now that dwells in the clefts of the rock, that's where you get the whole genealogy of cavemen. You know what I'm saying? The whole so-called evolution of cavemen. We're not all cavemen. They're the only ones that came from caves. And y'all can look this up too. I believe it's 25 to about 28% of so-called Caucasians, so-called white people are born with tails, and they have to get them cut off at birth. Also something that we don't learn in schools, you know? And like how it talks about Mount Seir, if you look up Mount Seir on Google, y'all will see that Mount Seir was actually little homes in the side of mountains, man. And if you also look up Mount Seir compared to Greece and Rome, Greece and Rome are built the same way with those columns, man. Where you go into the main entrance and there's those 4 or 5 columns that you enter into, and they're huge. That's the same. Where do you think they got it from, man? Nothing's new under the sun. That's where you get the whole genealogy of cavemen, and they tell us that we evolved from monkeys, man. Well, we're not monkeys, because actually, if you go back to what I just said, about 25 to 28% of them are born with 2% rhesus monkey in their DNA. So they're actually closer to monkeys than we are, right? So they've dwelt in caves, you know, because also the word Caucasian, the root word of Caucasian is Caucasus. And that goes back to the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia, where Esau dwelt, man. And if you go to the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia, those are also caves. So this is all the Bible unlocks things for you to understand with history that you never been taught, and things about yourself too, and also about other people. "The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" You know, Esau, Edom, The people that rule this earth, you know what I'm saying? Psalms 49:11, they inwardly think that their houses shall continue forever, man. You know, roughly paraphrasing, but they're not going to continue forever, because everything has a beginning and an end. And like it's like in the book of Second Ezra, it tells us that the end is manifest, and the end is being known through prophecy, man. Because the visions that were appointed for a certain time in the end, and at the end they shall speak. And the Bible is literally speaking, man. You know, through prophecies. You know what prophecy is? That Esau is going to be brought down, man. Like it says right here. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, Salakia, let me read that again. I'm getting too excited, y'all. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. You know, and going back to Isaiah the 14th chapter, he says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, and I will be like the Most High. So Esau Edom, he tries to control everything in the world to make it seem like he is the all-knowing power, man. That all-seeing eye, like they say on the back of that dollar bill, man. You know, so I'm saying Esau, you know, he has a very short time to rule on this earth. That's why, you know, the whole earth has been mourning, man. Because like it says, when the righteous beareth rule, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn, roughly paraphrasing. So the people mourn because nothing is right, man. You know, nothing is right here. Everything's corrupt and backwards. And it seems like it's getting worse than it ever is going to even get a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Let's read that again. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. And it always refers Esau Edom as an eagle. And I'm going to get into that right here. And this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and 49. And the book of Deuteronomy 28 is all of the curses that God's people are going through, that have went through and are currently going through to this day. You know what I'm saying? This is all the book of curses that, you know what I'm saying, if we would have hearkened in the first 15 of those blessings that we would have received all of these blessings. But since we transgressed the law of the Most High, we received all of these different curses. You know, and this is one of them. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle fleeth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. And it's a nation whose tongue we didn't understand, because at the time we spoke Hebrew. You know, we didn't speak English like these people spoke. You know, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. You know, they didn't care who we were, man. If we were old, young, middle-aged, babies, they were throwing our babies to alligators, man. Y'all can look this stuff up too. It literally on Jim Crow drawings and in cartoons that they literally used our babies as alligator bait, man. They did some of the wickedest things that are known to mankind, you know, and they expect us to just get over it, you know. But you know what I'm saying, how we went into captivity and came over here was on slave ships, you know. And this is Deuteronomy 28 and 68. It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. And, you know, like it says, into Egypt again. Because when we first went into Egypt, we were under the hand of Pharaoh, you know, and under bondage. It was a land of bondage. Matter of fact, let's get that in Exodus real quick. You know, because different words have different meanings based on where you use them, man. That's why America, which is spiritually Babylon the Great, and also Sodom and Egypt, is referred to Sodom and Egypt because, you know, this is the land of bondage. You know, we're still under our captivity. It says, I am the Lord thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You know, so he's saying that I am the Lord, and I've brought you out of the house of bondage, man. And this is during the time of the Pharaoh, man, when we came out of bondage. You know what I'm saying? So now going back, we understand that when it says I brought thee into Egypt again, it's talking about that I brought thee into bondage again, and on ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. Meaning we're not going to see it no more again, as in we're not going to see our homeland, which is Israel, again, man. And we haven't seen it since then, because why? We've transgressed the law from generation to generation, because, you know what I'm saying, it says that his people are very stiff-necked and hard-headed, man. Roughly paraphrasing. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, slave men and slave women, and no man shall buy you. Meaning no man's gonna buy you out of your judgment, or your punishment, I should say, because of what you did. You know? And just like we had to suffer the iniquity of our forefathers, Esau, Edom, Idumea is going to have to suffer the iniquity of their forefathers for rape, rob, murdering, and stealing everything with joy in their heart that's been on the face of this earth, man. You know? Because the Most High, you know, he says he's long-suffering and he will in no wise let thee go, roughly paraphrasing. So he's not going to let thee go, man. He's not going to forget about the things that these people have done towards his elect, man, towards his chosen. Lord willing, we're chosen, you know, but he's not going to forget any of that, man. So let's go back to the book of Obadiah and continue to find out what's going to happen to Esau, Edom, or Idumea, man. What's going to be their fate. You know, so this is Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 8. And we highlight these for y'all. It says, shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O Timon, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And like he says, you're going to be, every one of the mount of Esau is going to be cut off by slaughter for thy violence against thy brother Jacob. You know what I'm saying? And what's that violence, man? What's that violence that it's talking about? It's talking about, you know, casting us into chains, man, and you know what I'm saying? Beating us sun up, sun down, feeding our babies to alligators, raping our wives, raping our men, raping our kids. You know what I'm saying? All these different things that these people did to us, they're going to get it double on top of their head. You know, they're going to get it recompensed on their behalf. You know, because the Lord, you know, like it says, like right here, matter of fact, let me go back. Let me go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse 6. It says, seeing it is a righteous thing with Yahweh to recompense tribulation to them that trouble to them that trouble you. So the Most High said it's a righteous thing to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you, because like it says, what you reap you sow. You know, and these people been reaping their whole life and haven't sowed nothing. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing things and haven't really got punished. They've been, you know what I'm saying? They've been in control of this whole earth and everything that's within it. And they've been thinking to themselves, going back to Psalms 49:11, that their houses are going to continue forever, that their places of high rule is going to stay the way it is until the end of time. But that's not the way it's going to be, man. Because this is the only way that you can fix the innocent blood that's been shed on this whole land. You know, so let's get Numbers 35 and 33. Because this is the only way. It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. So it's saying for blood it defileth the land. Blood defiles a land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So what you reap you sow, man, is true, and the word of the Lord never comes back to him void. You know what I'm saying? So these people's judgments are going to be cast. They are not going to get away with the things that they've done, you know, over generation and generation, man. So it's going to continue to happen. So let me get the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and 15. And we're going to end it off right here. Ezekiel 35 and 13. It says, thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord. You know? So the Lord is going to make himself known within the acts that he establishes, man. And some of these prophecies that are going to come to pass are going to show you that the Lord's in full control, man. You know, everybody's going to know that all their religions, like being a Muslim and a Buddhist and a Hindu, all this stuff is going to be, it's going to be cast down, man, because it's not going to fit what they've been learning. You know what I'm saying? And everyone's going to realize that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is in full control, and he's been in control this entire time, you know? So, that's who Esau Edom is, man. Esau is a self-proclaimed white man, and his fate is destruction, you know? His fate is destruction. That's the end game, you know? So, Lord willing, that was all edifying. Before I end this video, I want to say, Call Halayim, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and all the Akim who diligently push this truth and righteousness and sincerity. Peace and salutations and many blessings to the elect of Israel and the four winds of the earth. May the election of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai be upon your houses and your families, and all of us who believe in faith in the true name of the Father and the Son until the time of the end, till Lord really receive salvation. So again, Lord willing, that was all edifying. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Barakatham to all you brothers and sisters out there. Until next time, Shalawam.